thinking
No, I mean,
about
like,
that.
you want to go thought crime? Like, I'm sorry. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
I did last week. I did a segment on this with a meme with like black Lizzos in the cockpit. Are you okay? Do you think that's going to be okay? I need everybody in the chat to give me my credit for saving your white ass. That's what Savvy Sav said. I'm going to take full credit. I'm the superhero. Should I go into whiteface Savvy? That's me. I would never criticize a white person. That would be me. It's going to be the white safe space. That's another nickname for the podcast. Not all whiteys though, huh? I would never, if you're white, you're safe. This is a safe place. Yeah, and this racial stuff I am not backing down from this. This is a very hard line for me. And unfortunately on X, not unfortunately, but I've talked about Sabby Sabs a lot, which is a part of the Revolutionary Blackout Network. And I've never been under any misunderstanding that when it comes to race, we're going to butt heads. Me, Nick, Sabs, Rome, even Nico House. We're going to butt. If we're going to talk race, we're going to butt heads. And I really, really don't like it when someone is being disingenuous. And Sab's great, and I just think the racial issue, we have emotional insecurities about it. We don't have honest topics, discussions about it. I was chatting with Sabby Sabs, just not chatting, but just online. We had a back and forth over the Charlie Kirk stuff. If you haven't heard it, this is what Charlie Kirk said on his show, which is probably better than even his regular. I mean, Charlie Kirk is great. He's the closest thing we have to Rush Limbaugh on his regular The Charlie Kirk Show, but now he has this thought crime. The headliners are him and Jack Posebek, but he brings in the crew, which is great, and they have real talk. It's not like as watered down. Not that his podcast is bad, but it's just more real talk and not afraid to say some of these things. It's more edgy. And I think he's still saying what he believes, and here's the conversation that went viral where people had some feelings about it.
And that's why I think this United story and the DEI story hits so hard, because we've all been in the back of a plane when the turbulence hits, or when you're flying through a storm and you're like, I'm so glad I saw the guy with the right stuff and the square jaw get into the cockpit before we took off. And I feel better now thinking about that.
No, I mean, like, you want to go thought crime? Like, I'm sorry. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Well, that's the you wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have done that before.
That's not an immediate.
No, you wouldn't have done that before.
That's not who I am. That's not what I believe.
It is the reality the left has created.
When he said the right stuff with the square jaw, and I forgot his name. He fills in for Charlie Kirk, and he does a great job. I apologize, I forget his name, but he didn't say anything about race. He just said that I got the right guy in the cockpit when ish goes down. When you go in for a surgery, when you're taking your kids to a school, when you're going to a concert to hear a professional musician or an ice skater, or if somebody's even taking out your trash or doing your landscaping, you're just like, I got to get the right. You don't want me to do your landscaping. I'll do it the best I can, but I'm not going to be fancy. I'm not going to be doing your driveway. I'm not going to repave your driveway. I'm not going to fix your plumbing. I have my strengths and weaknesses. It's not about black or white or anything else. It's about the right person to fit for the right job. That's what anybody that has any type of sense of identity, of like confidence with who they are, understands. So if somebody comes to fix my driveway, I don't care if they're Asian, black, or whatever else is. Can you do it? That's the concern. That's what he's saying.
Like, you want to go thought crime? Like, I'm sorry. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
So
that's the you wouldn't have done that.
So Charlie said, if I see a black pilot, he's going to say, I hope he's qualified.
You wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have done that before.
And I give Charlie credit. If I'm going to knock people or kind of criticize people, I want to make sure I give people credit where credit is due. Charlie Kirk has billion-dollar donors that he goes out to eat with. That matters. If you're going to win this type of civil war, you've got to have, I mean, it's not kinetic, but if you're going to win this, close to it, but if you're going to win this conflict, you need to have billionaires, millionaires, you need to have common people, you need to have people who have the right moral conviction on your side. And Charlie Kirk has that with very powerful people. And he still has the courage, because all the people that support Charlie Kirk will not want to hear this. I guarantee you that. I'm guaranteeing you that they called Charlie Kirk and said, what do you say about black people?
Sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
So why does that happen? He didn't say, Charlie didn't even say, if I see a bat, I think he would have been in his right to. I did a segment on this. Last week I did a segment on this with a meme with like black Lizzos in the cockpit. Are you okay? Do you think that's going to be okay? Do you think they probably qualified or not? And he said, I just hope that they're qualified. That is, I mean, when you look at it back, it's actually a soft position.
Black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
I hope he's qualified. He didn't even say he's not qualified or he's probably a DEI handout. We had this conversation with Ketanji Brown Jackson. And I said the biggest disservice that was done to her was somebody saying, I'm going to hire a black woman. I'm going to nominate a black woman for the Supreme Court. If Joe Biden, even if he had thought that in his head, why wouldn't he just say, I'm going to hire the best person possible? And then even in his head, kind of like lie and laugh to himself, I'm hiring the black woman. We all would have known anyway, but at least he would have had her back publicly to say, I'm hiring the best. That's it. So if you see a midget in the cockpit, they were one of the best in their class. We interviewed them, we tested them. I don't even know what the process is, and they were one of the best.
How is diversity and diversity targets working into the Aviate Academy?
We have committed that 50% of the class of the classes will be women or people of color. Today, only 19% of our pilots at United Airlines are women or people of color. And by the way, from all the data I've seen, that's the highest of any airline in the country.
The CEO of United Airlines went on record talking about it, basically sounding like Mark Cuban. And basically sounding like Mark Cuban saying, hey, we do this DEI initiative. We're proud of this diversity.
We have committed that 50% of the class of the classes will be women or people of color.
Not leading with, we're proud we have the best people. And you know what? That's it. We've hired the best. And when you look within the best, there's some diversity there, but that's not what our goal is. So with that in mind, Savvy Sabs comes over the top, and now she's in my realm when you talk about Charlie Kirk too. I don't stay in your realm, I'll stay in my realm. You getting into Charlie Kirk, you need to go find a union rally to strike to go support just because. That's your realm, this ain't your realm. And I respect her, but this is, if you, especially on race, I'm not gonna have this. She says if you push back on the statement from Charlie Kirk, Elon Musk would say stop being woke. Change the black pilot to a white Jewish pilot, and the woke concept disappears. Well, you know it doesn't for me. Basically, white people just don't want to hear about black people issues. This is white comfort. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna have it. Don't do that. I'm not for that. I'm like, nah. So I started the segment talking about how I'm not here to equivocate. I'm not here to mince words with you on race. Stay the hell up out of the race conversation. Go ahead, block me if you don't want to be genuine. She is a very smart woman. She is not, when I talk about black women Democrats, I'm not talking about Savvy Sabs. But when we come into race, she's in the same realm as all of them. She's in the Cori Bush realm. She's in the realm with all of them. Crockett, Ilhan Omar, all of them. Like, no. You can't say you're going to hire people based on something other than merit.
We have committed that 50% of the class of the classes will be women or people of color.
Then get upset when people ask if you were hired based on something other than merit. If you want to stop this or try to stop it, it's impossible to stop it. Then you've got to end whatever you want to call it. You can call it CRT, DEI, this racial identity stuff. You should be against that. If Savvy Sabs, if you really care about me going on a plane and trusting someone based on their skin color, then you should be going after the airlines saying you only hire people who are qualified. So when people walk on the plane, they at least have that in their head that at least words mean nothing, but at least you could say that at the very least. And then I don't know, it goes sideways. These are the conversations we should not be afraid to have. Period. You get into that realm of race, I'm not afraid to agree with her on race on something, but not like this. She says, that has nothing to do with what I said. I'm discussing hypocrisy. What hypocrisy are you talking about? I don't see it. I don't see the hypocrisy that you're talking about. So I'm like, what are you talking about? What is the hypocrisy? There's none here. And she won't let it go. If you can't read it, then that's on you. No, you need to articulate yourself. You're better than that. I've seen her do great segments. No. Then that's on you. She's talking to me. I, for one, will not defend this BS. What do we defend? What are you talking about? I don't defend what? I'm not even defending Charlie Kirk. I don't even care about Charlie Kirk. It's more about the topic at hand. So I'm not coming into her mentions defending Charlie Kirk. I didn't even say his name in her mentions. You see how it goes. You see how they think. Like, I can't agree with him because he's Charlie Kirk. That's the mentality. You need to stop pretending that race isn't an issue in this country. Who said that? I've never said that in my life. I've never said anything like that. I said, well, when Tim Scott said America's not racist, I even said, I don't agree with that. I don't even know what the term racist means. How do you define if a country's racist or not? I don't even know. I deal with like more numbers and tangible stuff. You just arbitrarily say this. What country is not racist? What city is not racist? I don't even know what that means. So stop pretending that race is an issue. Who said that? You won't find a tweet or comment from me saying that in this country, and that systemic racism doesn't exist. I need a definition for that. What does that mean too? I don't know. There's systemic problems, but I would never use the term systemic racism because I can't even define what racism is. She says you can F all the way off. See, now you're like in the Nicki Minaj stage right now. You're just in your emotions, and now you're not even yourself anymore. Nicki is very smart, targeted, got bars, and then I don't know what happened with the Megan Thee Stallion stuff, and now she's just ranting and raving and just all over the place and not even making sense, not funny anymore, not targeted anymore. And that's what happened to Sabby in a very small way there. F the way off. You didn't even retort anything I said. And I said, someone can't make things about race, then get upset when people make things about race. That's the only, and that's why I say I always have these type of people at arm's length away from me. That includes the Jewish people too. The pro-Israel, not all Jewish, but the that's why I say pro-Israel. Jewish, that's a different category. If you are Israel, if I categorize you as Israel first, I mean, that includes people I like Trump, Kerry Lake, they're Israel first, in my opinion. It's an arm's length away. Because I know if I get into that issue, you would throw me under the biggest bus that you could find. That's why I say about them, and I warned Jimmy Dore about rocking with them. The second you disagree with them, they'll pull up the race card. That's what Nina Turner did, even nicking them, even after Jimmy Dore has platformed them. Craig Pasta, I said, you got to keep your arm's length away from them. As a white, Craig Pasta, if you don't know, is a combo couch white guy. That's my dude. But, I mean, you can't roll. I said the same thing with Comic Dave Smith and Maj Touré. You can work with them, but you got to stay at arm's length away. The second you disagree with them on a certain topic and they feel they need to pull out that race card from behind, they think it's a joker to play, it's a wild card, and there it is. The only person being hypocritical here is you, Sabby Sabs. If you want to talk about race, there's things we can talk about with race. But be real about it. She says, I said what I said. You're always defending white people BS. Yeah, that's me. I'm your neighborhood white superhero. Everybody in the chat, I need everybody in the chat. Everybody in the chat to give me my credit for saving your white ass. That's what Sabby Sav said. I'm gonna take full credit. I'm the superhero. Should I go into whiteface Sabby? That's me. I would never criticize a white person. That would be me. I would never. If you're white, you're safe. This is a safe place. What are you talking about? Always defending white people BS. I'm asking you to defend your point. Anytime somebody bringing up race, your Uncle Tom ass shows up to defend white people. That's fine. I'll be Uncle Ruckus. I own that. I got raccoon emojis. That's fine. F all the way off. Here's how I end the conversation. I have no beef. I had no beef with you. We are not enemies, unless you want us to be. I am an admirer of your work. Even if we are enemies, I'd be an admirer of your work. That's separate. That's how much I categorize this stuff. But we will always clash on the topic of race with the positions you have. Just cringe, disgusting, inauthentic, and awful. And I have no tolerance for it anymore. Let's go. Quest, Fanny. It's our safe space. I got like 100 names for the podcast, man. It's gonna be the White Safe Space. That's another nickname for the podcast. Hey, Whiteys, come on in. This house is a safe place. Not all Whiteys though, huh? There are a couple Whiteys that I do criticize, isn't there? What's up, GB? Whites allowed. Oh my gosh. These blackity blacks, man, they will contort their body into whatever awful take they need to support their racial insecurities. And I'm fully here to expose it. And if you want to change, that's fine, but you don't have to. We'll just have our clashes. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Middle MAGA.